Good evening, all. How is everybody doing on this Friday, TGIF Friday? You know the vibes. You're rocking out with yours truly, Showtime Sizzle. I am the Sauce. This is the Sauce Experience. Um, Man, this thing. Last time this week, we was like. We was amped, it was the countdown. Everything pretty much was official. We was waiting on the ceremonial weigh-in, but we knew the fight was official from the earlier weigh-in.
And I went to the weigh-in.
Nah, not that one. You didn't go to this one. That was in Ohio. But a week later, tomorrow is the replay on Showtime, right? Numbers are coming out, and I'm gonna say this respectfully. A lot of you guys that are on here making excuses did not order the fight. A lot of you guys on here talking about the fight did not purchase the fight as well. But nonetheless, the fight was still a success. But it's just some of I seen a video today with and I'm gonna play the audio, right? Where the deranged dude, because these people gotta be deranged, man. Said that Earl Spence got into an argument with his son's mother, and she gave him a drink, and that once he drank the drink. Man, you guys gotta stop this shit, man. You guys gotta stop this shit, man. Like, and I gotta blame Earl too, man, because I don't, and I'm gonna tell you why I blame him, right? Because this dude, right? But this is what he's been doing for so long, right? Like, he takes accountability, but he doesn't. He posted something on his Instagram, right? Basically, like, no excuses, some shit. If I did, I wouldn't, tell y'all. Like, come on, so why post it? Why post it? See, you're not slick. You can pull that off to the zombies and the worshipers. But those of us that are, on point, man, we see right through the trickery. So by you posting that, it's a cop-out, my guy. It's a cop-out. So go. It's a cop-out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Not only is it a cop-out, it discredits your accomplishments. It does, because, and I say this respectfully, it makes you look weak, because 28 fights prior to this, 2 fights prior to that, after the accident, you had no problems. You had no problems. Can you start running in and out?
Can you tell the side that we
I already told you that. I already said it.
Me.
It doesn't matter. So you just go by yourself then.
I mean, have some.
But yes, prior to the Ugas and the Danny Garcia fight, he was fine, right? Fine, no lingering effects. But the biggest fight of his life, because this was the biggest fight of his life, man. He got stage fright. That's what I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call it stage fright. I'm gonna call a spade, right? I'm gonna say he got stage fright. He knew that a lot of people had a lot of money riding on him. He also knew that he didn't train. He took this fight lightly. He sold it good, though. He sold it good. But, and I know you're going to say, what do you mean he didn't train? He didn't take this fight. Yeah, the man was still cutting weight Tuesday, Wednesday, running the hills, right? Running the hills. Why aren't any of his radical fans highlighting that, man? But they want to highlight all these other things. They want to highlight Crawford's gloves being loaded. Ask Coach James if his gloves was loaded. Coach James attempted to do the Louis, what's the name, and Phil Crawford's gloves because he couldn't believe the destruction Crawford put on him. His gloves wasn't loaded. If his gloves were loaded or tampered with, a fight of that magnitude, do you know how fast that would have broke? You know, like, listen, and that's why I can't go off of the other stuff that you guys are putting out there that he was drugged. That this, like, yo, these guys get tested, man. They get tested before and after this fight, man. What is it like? We gotta do better, man. And to me, I don't want to see the rematch, man. For reasons like this. I don't even want to see the rematch, but I know that Terrence is obligated with the contract. But when I see fans, you know, posting and making videos and content about, Earl being drugged or this, that, and the third, it just like it kills the fight to me. And it was a good fight, man. Even though it was a one-sided fight, it was 5 years of finally like, yo, we got it. The jig was up. The jig was up, man. But unfortunately, it didn't go the way a lot of you programmers, right? That's what YouTube is. It's a bunch of fans, programmers, programming their listeners and audience. And what took place last Saturday night was a programmer's nightmare because the popular pick, the popular fighter, didn't live up to par. Not only did he not live up to par, he got destroyed. But in doing so, the righteous has risen. I seen reports with now Terrence Crawford. I can look it up right now because I'm chilling in the living room. Let me look it up. They said Terrence Crawford has surpassed Earl Spence in followers or some shit. Let me see. See, I don't really be on that type of time, right? But I want to look at that though. If that is true. Let me give that a gander. No. All right, he has 1 million, 1.1. What does Bud have? Oh yeah, Bud got 1.3. So see, these are type of things that people be reporting on. Man, I wouldn't see. I ain't into that, but yeah, Bud has 200 more thousand followers than him. Wow, go figure. But this is like talked about. If you it's a trending topic, right? Because you got hip hop bloggers talking about this. You have religious people talking about. Yo, can y'all stop running back and forth, or they didn't want y'all over there? Yeah, they didn't want y'all over there. Go come in the house, man. See, I told you. People don't always want you over. People don't always want you over their house. Like, let Daffy out now. Go outside, Daffy. You can go out. Let Daffy out. Why don't you come in the house and clean the side instead of sitting outside looking stupid? Why don't you come in the house and clean? Yes, that is my kids. Always wanted to run next door, but you see what I just gave them a lesson in life, right? If the neighbors are cleaning up, why don't you clean up, right? Instead of sitting outside waiting on them. They are being responsible. So why don't you guys be responsible? But let me move on, right? The jig is up, man. And I want to say, man, I am so happy for Terrence Crawford, a guy that was chasing this man for 5 long years, man. He was ridiculed. Um, just his name was like, yo, he was disrespected, man. That's why I don't know how long it's gonna take me a while to stop really speaking on this because you have a man that was pretty much like talked down on that, he really hadn't done anything. He really hasn't beaten anybody. No, I don't. He hasn't beaten anybody. He hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. But yet, the guy that was supposed to do this and do that to him, he made it look rather easy against, man. And this is the guy for 5 years. We had to listen to programmers, because that's what I call you guys now. I don't call you content creators. Programmers tell us that Terrence never fought nobody. That Earl Spence and the PBC guys were the creme de la creme when it came to the welterweight division in boxing. Not only has Terrence defeated the pound for pound guy over there, Earl Spence, but he defeated him in a manner where it made you kind of where we're at right now with it, where you got guys just making all kind of excuses. Maybe Earl Spence, like I said, we was programmed to thinking that he was more than what he was, man. Let's call a spade a spade. Maybe we were programmed to think that this guy was more than what he was. Because at the end of the day, the excuses aren't, I can't stand on those, man. Because prior to him getting dog walked, he was the eye collector, right? He was the eye collector. But the funny thing is, with all the things that he did, and I'm seeing channels speak about this, right? They wanted him to fight Keith Thurman for a reason. They wanted him to fight Keith Thurman for a reason. They did not want this Bud Crawford fight because they knew. That's why I say the jig is up, man. Smash the like button. It's a couple of y'all in here. Let me check my likes out. If my likes ain't to where I want them to be at, I am just going to switch topics. Because I've been paying attention to it a lot that goes on with you programmers, man. You programmers love to steal content, but you guys been doing it for so long, right? You YouTube programmers, that is, man. And where is that getting y'all in the game, though, man? Because I don't see a lot of you programmers elevating in the game at all. Like, you don't cover fights. To me, you guys are a bunch of jealous fans that just talk boxing. Like, where is your work at? Let me check my likes, though. If my likes ain't up to par, I'm not gonna give you the source. I'll speak about life. I'll get on here and front on the listeners that try to front on me, talking about get your life together. Did you just see what I just did today? Getting my life together. How about you, right? Let me see what my likes is at, because I can do that right now. I'm in the living room. Okay. All right. I'll continue on, right? So back to the programming, right? So we were programmed to believe that Earl Spence was like this killer, right? But yet when he faced Terrence Crawford, we didn't see that. Not only did we not see that, the writing has been on the wall for so long. They never wanted to make this fight. That's why they use people to always make it seem like Bud was the issue, when the actual real issue was what we got to witness last Saturday. That Earl Spence was the guy that we have been programmed to think Terrence was. Superior matchmaking, built up fighter. This is all Earl Spence. And when you break him down, which Team Crawford did, Saul, Red, and Bomac, you get the performance that you get from Terrence. But when you really break him down, 28 fights, right? 2 southpaws out of the 28 fights. A lot of the matchups that he had. Guys were tailor made to make his fighting skills of your carrying this look the part. And that's what we witnessed carried out. Now, there is a video, and I'm not gonna play it, right? Because for some reason now my channel is starting to get reported, right? So I'm not gonna play the video, but I'm going to tell you about the video, right? Give me 2 seconds. Roy Jones Jr., right? He has a interview out where he says that he was in Dallas attending the fights, and he seen Earl Spence, and he wanted to shake Earl Spence's hand, and Earl Spence refused to shake his hand because of his pick. Now, Roy Jones's pick was accurate. He said, and Antonio Tarver and many others, right? And I love when these guys, legends, Hall of Famers, former champions, say this, because when somebody of their caliber, especially of a Roy Jones went from middleweight, junior middleweight, all the way to heavyweight, collecting belts. So whenever somebody like that makes an assessment, you will get some programmers that are radical fans of a fighter to try to flip it. But no, Roy was accurate when he always said that he witnessed Terrence Crawford, HBO days, come up. He always stressed that he needed to see more from Earl Spence because, see, you're speaking about a fighter, my cousin, Roy Jones Jr., someone that has lived off experience, had fought many of the champions. And he said he always needed to see more. And the reason why he always would say that he needed to see more of Earl Spence was because a lot of you listeners that are programmed don't understand this. What we were seeing from Earl Spence was a fighter that was moved, a fighter that, what they tried to say about Terrence, we never really, 3 southpaws out of 29 fights now. So he only fought 3 southpaws. We need to see more. Are y'all catching this on? Please smash my like button, because one thing about when I give you this business over here, you're getting real gems, man. I know a lot of people talk boxing, but where are their receipts? Where is their actual work? I have a catalog of work. So I'm just not on here like the norm. And while I say that, I will take a brief break to, highlight some of the work.
You can beat me, man. I'm a real one. I'm here. I'm waiting. I've been beaten in the amateurs. I've taken L's before. We haven't taken L's in years, bro. Because we perfected the game, And when we're in the ring, we're not just fighting and just beating people up. We're outclassing them. We're finessing them. You know what I mean? As my trainer said, Bed Genny, smart fighters win, dumb fighters lose. He never said strong fighters win, weak fighters lose, fast fighters win, slow fighters lose, smart fighters win, dumb fighters lose, okay? Yeah. I fought a smarter fight against Danny Garcia, won that. I fought a smarter fight.
Yes, that commercial break was brought to you by yours truly, no other than Sauce, Shy Sauce, aka Beetlejuice Boxing Gems. I just wanted to throw that up there because how many of you guys can actually say that you have talked to a unified champion, not over Instagram or Twitter, actually talked to him, sat down, one-on-one conversation? That is recorded. That's not off the record. But how many of you guys can actually say that? So when you come on here and you critique me or you talk about me, please show me something that is credible of you to speak on the shit that I speak on. Pause. But let's continue on. So Keith Thurman. They wanted Earl to fight Keith Thurman for a reason. Because they knew by him fighting Terrence, this was going to happen. And we watch what played out. We could get to watch it again tomorrow night. But it was just basically a fighter in Earl Spence that has been programmed, and he got, and shout out to Coach Malachi. I heard Coach Malachi speaking on this. He got so caught up in his own YouTube fan base rhetoric, because regardless of what they like to say, he listens to everything. He has yes men around him that tell him everything. So he got caught up into that. And he just, was going to go out there and step. He was just going to go out there, and I know I'm a step, and he's going to step. Terrence was stepping. You wasn't stepping. You wasn't stepping. You wasn't stepping. Not only were you not stepping, you wasn't adjusting. Not only were you not adjusting, you laid an egg, man. You laid an egg, and now your radical fan base, the worshipers of you, they are on here. Some of them can't even conduct a live stream without making up excuses. Some of them can't come to the reality. And these guys are supposed to be boxing experts. Shout out to the UK in the building. Wagwan Lion, right? These guys can't even talk boxing no more. And they were supposed to be analysts. They were supposed to be hardcore. I'm a casual. But they were supposed to be hardcore, to the bone, knowing they stuff. But yet they didn't know that you only fought. And I remember a couple of days ago, I said, damn, how many southpaws did Earl Spence fight? I give you guys free gems over here. I give you guys gems, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to try to educate y'all. Because a lot of people that come on YouTube and talk boxing, rest in peace to Roger Mayweather, you guys are just fans that are programmed. You don't know shit, respectfully. You don't know nothing. That's why a lot of y'all that talk boxing need to get off the internet and actually go to a gym. Go learn something. Don't even, like, I would recommend a lot of y'all go to some amateur fights, because to be honest, the professional level is too much for y'all. Because by the time fights get to the professional level, a lot of them are already programmed. And if you paid attention to what Bomac and them said, they said that about Earl Spence fight week. They said that he was the programmed fighter, the media programmed, the people to think. And that's what played out, man. And we get a chance to watch it again tomorrow. And I suggest a lot of you guys DVR it and study it. And study it. Really, really study it. And I guarantee if you study it and you really look at Earl Spence, you will see Earl Spence came out there looking the way he looked because he knew what he was going to look like. He knew the jig was up. It had nothing to do with him being drugged. He knew. He sold a big wolf ticket. A lot of people had a lot of money riding on him. And he knew that he was going to go out there and he was going to get beat up. He knew this going in. Because contrary to all of the programming that he did, 18 rounds of sparring, he was doing this, that, and the third. He was doing nothing of the such. He was doing nothing of the such. And it played out beautifully right in front of our faces. Not only did it play out, and like I said on Twitter today, I'm getting big on Twitter, staying active with my tweets, right? Like I said today, they wanted the Hollywood fairy tale movie for him, which is still a great movie. It's still the Earl Spence story is still a great story. But when it comes to the Terrence Crawford part in the movie, it wasn't going to go the way y'all wanted to go, And we all knew this. We all knew this, but you can hold on to this, right? Earl Spence went through a lot in that car crash. But prior to that, he went through a lot being a drunk, right? And shout out to WCS for speaking on this. when the rumors came out about him being a drunk, a wino, the town drunk, an alcoholic, Nate Jones, right? Nate Jones spoke on this. Another Jones, right? Chi-Town in the building. Spoke on this. He was thrown in the mud. They talked about him. Earl Spence came out and admitted to being a wino, a drunk. No type of apology was given to Nate Jones. Nothing of the sort. But yet, he admitted to being, he liked to sip on the whiskey or whatever he preferred. But this been known. But when somebody spoke on it about him, Nate Jones, he was cast into the fire. How dare you make these accusations that were true? That were true. So when you hear Bomac and you hear these guys say that he was a media protected fighter, he was. Because if Nate Jones knew this, many others knew this, but why didn't they speak on it? Because he was the protected, built up fighter. He was the Olympian. Remember when he came in, he was the Olympian. And shout out to Bernie the Boxer. Bernie the Boxer speaks about this now. He was the better American story. But you see how God is undefeated. The universe is undefeated. Who is the better story right now? Terrence Bud Crawford. August 4th, 2023. The American story is Terrence Bud Crawford. You were seeing him all over Hot 97. You were seeing him on TMZ. It's like I said, I didn't know, but now I know. His Instagram following has went up. He's over 1.3 million right now. He is the American story. You know, Earl Spence was, but see, one thing about having a story, you have to be the truth with the story. And a lot of times Earl Spence's story was never the truth. It was always a cover-up. It was always look the other way. But now they are no longer looking the other way. The man has fell. He's fallen. And he's fallen in such an embarrassing, humbling manner that now you have people. I'm going to play this real quick. I seen the dude. These dudes are just, you know, just killing him. They are killing him. They are killing him, like the comedian dude. I'm looking for the video now. I can play the audio. They are killing him, man. You know? I'm going to play the audio right now. I want you guys to have a good laugh. Listen. This is what he is facing right now. This is the type of time that Earl Spence is facing, right? This is what the people are saying about Earl Spence right now, right? And I gotta laugh, right? Because I see like a lot of you cowards, respectfully, I gotta call y'all cowards, right? Y'all wanna come at me, right? But I'm seeing everybody and their mama going harder than what I'm going. I'm just speaking facts. I'm speaking facts, but I'm seeing content creators, social media influencers, that's what they're called, right? Social media influencers doing things like this, right? And then you know me, I'm on my investigative reporter stuff. I look in their comments, right? And I don't see the same I don't see the same energy that you have for others, right? I don't see you guys having that energy that you have for others, right? But what I do see is I see people making videos like this. Yeah, let's listen to this. I'm gonna let this play out, right? Let's listen to this excuse right here. This is what we are faced with on social media. This is what we are faced with.
The reason why Errol Spence Jr. lost so bad to Bud Crawford. Don't believe me? Well, a lot of y'all have probably seen this video that's going viral on YouTube by this doctor that's alleging that Errol Spence Jr. suffered residual neurological damage from being injected during a 2019 car accident. Now, as true as this may sound, this really wouldn't make sense to be the reason why Errol Spence lost so bad to Bud Crawford last Saturday. Because when he fought you guys last year, a couple days after my birthday, we seen an entirely different Spence, a well-focused Spence, and a Spence that made you guys' eye look like a tennis ball. So what's the real reason? So according to Errol Spence's team, him and his girlfriend actually got into an argument backstage before the fight began. She started going crazy. Things got out of hand. Things got a little heated, and she also gave him something to drink.
Come on,
now,
man. Do you hear this?
But whatever it was, his team says it actually lowered his energy down.
I gotta stop. We can't condone this, right? But did you just hear what he just said? So EJ and his son's mother got into it in the back, right? In the back before the fight, right? And she gave him a drink. This is what he's alleging the team said. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Are you? And then you get upset with me, right? But this is acceptable. This is acceptable. Come on, man. Come on, man. But you will get upset with me. But this is acceptable, man. That's why when I hear brothers like this go off, I applaud it, man. I applaud it, man. Like this right here. Shout out to Antonio Tarver, man. I applaud this, bro. I applaud this because
guys, trainers of the year and all this stuff, but we don't. What are we? Come on, bro. This man wasn't prepared for no Terrence Bud Crawford tonight, and the trainer got to take some flack for that. It's his responsibility too to have his fighter ready. Man, he had nothing about no defense, no head movement, no feints. Didn't have his hands up, feet all everywhere, bruh. Where's the lessons?
Damn. All right.
And so I've been out here campaigning.
All right, let me stop it. Right. See, now that is better, right? You know why that's better? Because you see how he broke it down, feet everywhere. That's Antonio Tarver, for those of y'all that want to know, right? Calling out Derek James, not saying, yo, this nigga got somebody slipped him a Mickey. Nah, that's why he got beat up. Did you hear what Antonio Tarver said? He wasn't prepared. He wasn't prepared, man. When are we going to start really talking about that? And salute to the ones that are talking about it. And salute to all the others that are out here making excuses. Like that brother I just played, that he got slipped the Mickey. No, the Mickey that he got slipped was them damn left and right, them juke hooks, them straight power jabs from Terrence. That's the Mickey he got slipped. No head movement. That's the Mickey he got slipped. Feet everywhere. Those are the Mickeys, man. But content creators are still gonna be on that type of time. Content creators are going to be on that type of time. And until we hold them accountable, man. And salute to the ones that are holding them accountable, man. But too many, like I said, dudes is on here doing 4 and 5 hour lives talking about what went wrong. Antonio Tarver just told you what went wrong. But instead of you guys accepting that, you want to say that the man was drugged. Bud had loaded gloves. His baby moms slipped him a Mickey. Like, come on, man. That's what we're doing, man. That's why, to be honest, I don't even want to see the rematch, man. I know they're obligated from the contract and all that. I don't even want to, because like it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting, man. Because you guys programmed so many people to thinking that this dude was going to put up a better effort, that he was just going. It was going to be everything that he said. Smoke the bud pack, and one side of ass from easier than what. It was. It was everything that he told us that it was going to be, but it was on him. It was like he was looking in the mirror. And yesterday, I believe Combat did a live, and he was talking about one of the Earl sexuals, and the dude was talking about all these different fighters when they went up against other elite fighters, they didn't look as good. He was talking about his favorite fighter, because that's what we witnessed last Saturday. We witnessed a guy that had 3 belts that only fought 2 southpaws prior to this in the professional ranks. 2. But yet, the narrative was that Terrence Crawford never fought nobodies. Do you know how many southpaws Terrence Crawford fought? Any of y'all that's in here, 7 of y'all in here. Do you know how many southpaws Bud Crawford has fought? He does have more fights. But how many southpaws has Bud Crawford faced? Any of y'all? Look it up real quick, man. We got time. I'm chilling, man. It's Friday night. You know, my kids are running around the house. I'm good, man. I'm good. You know? Just let me know, man. How many southpaws have Bud Crawford fought, man? How many? You know, he did have 39 fights coming in today. Earl Spence is the southpaw. So prior to him fighting Earl Spence, how many southpaws has Bud Crawford faced? Feel free, man. Feel free. This is the source schooling right now. I'll give you one right now, man. It's more than Earl Spence has fought. Diaz was one. Diaz was a southpaw. How many has Terrence Crawford fought, man? How many southpaws? I see he said around 10 on my way home from work. Can't Google it. But yeah, how many has Terrence Crawford fought? If you need to pull up his bot, well, that might be kind of hard for y'all to do. If y'all really don't know the actual fighters, you can pull it up on BoxRec. Remember, Earl Spence fought 2. He fought 2. Yo, can you close that door? I don't want to hear you spitting. That sounds disgusting. Thank you. I don't know. Did y'all hear that? I know I heard it. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a couple more minutes. Then I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Yo, what was Julius Odongo? Look, I'm looking out for y'all a little bit. What are you doing? Go. Can you take that in there? You're backwards. You're doing backwards activities. Was Julius Ndongo a southpaw? Who was Julius Ndongo, man? So you guys are boxing guys that talk boxing and everything, but you guys don't know boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't know boxing. But all right, you know what? I'm not gonna do all the research for you, you know. But do your own research on that and learn a little something. But it's more than Earl Spence. It's more than Earl Spence. So maybe that could be a reason that he was so comfortable in there facing a southpaw from the southpaw stance, meaning that he is a switch hitter. Whereas Earl Spence, when you watch the fight tomorrow night, and listen to what Antonio Tarver said, which I just played the audio. Watch Earl Spence's foot placement. I'm gonna break something else down to y'all right now about fighting, right? For those of y'all, since a lot of y'all know boxing or talk boxing, where should your foot placement be fighting a southpaw? Somebody feel free to comment that knows boxing, that talks boxing. Where should your foot placement be facing a southpaw? Facing a southpaw. Because you guys know boxing, right? You guys talk boxing, so you should know boxing. How should your foot placement be fighting a southpaw? Because I see all of these boxing trainers, coaches, and experts on talking boxing all the time. Trust me, y'all, I rock with a lot of y'all, man. I pay attention to a lot of different channels. I listen to you guys frequently. You know, I might not pop up in your chats and in the comment, but I do listen. So, what is the proper foot placement for a what's name? Thank you. Here we go. We got somebody that is on point. Shout out to Backyard. You win. You get an executive producer credit tonight. He said outside his league. So tomorrow, when we watch this fight now, right? This is Beetlejuice Boxing Gems, right? We're going to watch this fight tomorrow. Thank you, Backyard Prophet. We are going to watch this fight tomorrow night, right? I want you guys to pay attention to where Earl Spence's foot placement was. Since we know fighting a southpaw, your lead foot should be on the outside, right? Let's see where Earl Spence's feet are going to be a lot of times facing Terrence. Because Terrence fought in the southpaw stance. He fought in the southpaw stance, right? Am I correct with that, stating that? Is that a correct call right there? He fought in the southpaw stance, right? And thank you for that Backyard Prophet. So Earl Spence foot placement, which Antonio Tarver highlighted. I'm just going off of what the OGs, because Antonio Tarver is an OG, man. I never met him. You know, I was in Florida, but I never got to catch him. I would have loved to have picked his brain. You know, he's a fighter, man. I like to talk to these guys because their knowledge. You see, Backyard Prophet, great knowledge on that. Outside his league. Let me ask you guys this, right? When Terrence dropped Earl in the second round, right? With that classic over-the-top counter, right? Whose foot was on the outside? Look, this is great breakdown, Backyard Prophet. Whose foot was on the outside? I think, do I have that video? Let me see if I have that video and I can pull it up. I'll play it for y'all so you can see. Film study so you can see. I think I might have it on here. If I have it on here, I will play it so you can see, because Backyard Prophet just dropped some gems right there. You can see whose foot is on the outside and whose foot was on the inside. Let me see. Do I have it? If I have it, I'm going to throw it up. The Bomax said, man, he's slow as shit. Where is that, man? Is it right here? Is this it? If I have it, I'm gonna throw it up so y'all can see it, man. Oh man. Yes. All right. I don't have it on the. I have it on my phone. I'm bugging, right? But I if watch that when you watch that the first knockdown, right, where Earl overextended and left himself open. Shout out to the brother Backyard Prophet said outside his lead, Terrence's foot was outside of Earl's lead. So when Earl lunged in, because that's what he did, he lunged in with his jab, and Terrence countered him over the top with his outside foot. Once again, outside foot over the top. Who had the better balance? Because we're constantly hearing, oh, Earl's balance and shit was off. I bet it was. I bet it was, right? Because if we go back to what, shout out to the OG Antonio Tarver said, foot placement, I bet it was. Because if we go with Backyard said, right, Backyard Prophet, outside the lead, if Terrence's foot was outside the lead, proper foot placement, and Earl was doing, and I say this respectfully, the Margarena, cha-cha to the left, cha-cha to the right. His foot was, he was doing an electric slide. So when he got hit with now normally, if your feet are placed properly, I'm just going off of things that I have learned in the gym, watching other trainers and family members, right? If your feet are properly positioned, when you do get hit with a punch, especially a jab punch at that, it might, buckle you, to say the least. But to drop you, I think proper foot placement also, improper, these are correct words, improper foot placement also led to him being dropped like that. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Shout out to WCS in here. WCS, you are rubbing off on me. Hopefully the sauce is, it's like the hot grease. I'm taking my time today. I'm in my living room, just kicking it. My kids are running in and out, kind of messing with the sauce a little bit, but I still think I'm delivering something suitable to casual boxing people, because, I'm a casual. They tell me I don't know a goddamn thing about boxing. But my prediction, my video that is viral, where I said what in the slow, flat-footed Spence is going on, damn sure went on last Saturday. Hello, right? But WCS says, Shanewz the sauce experience, keep the heel of your boot on there. Now, of course. Man, Backyard Prophet, you got the executive producer credit for the day. So let's highlight you as well. He said it takes away their rear hand power shots and lines them up for your cross. Well, Bud didn't have to throw the cross at that particular point, because when he hit him with the power jab, Earl's feet was so discombobulated that it was a power jab, because like I broke down in a video that I did, Terrence Crawford naturally is a conventional fighter. So a conventional fighter, power hand is the right hand. But Terrence caught him with a power jab that pretty much ended the fight. And you're like, man, it was only the second round. No, it ended the fight, because it was at that moment, and I'm going to do a video with that, with me and Reem, because those videos are getting good reviews. The videos where I'd be like, it was at that moment I knew Earl Spence was going to lose. And I did. I remember texting other coaches and colleagues, and I was like, yo, it's over. It's over. They was like, no, it ain't. I was like, it's going to get ugly. And it did. It got ugly. But it was over from that moment, because what I seen was a fighter that was so built up and programmed to be indestructible get dropped from a jab. And when he got up, luckily the bell saved him because he was going to get finished. Yes, he was going to get finished. He was like, man, Bud almost landed the juke hook, but he was like finished. And then the third round, he came out because I think maybe when he went back into the corner, they told him, make him feel you. Then he wanted to get a feel on. But Bud Crawford's not the feeling type. You know, they wanted him to feel him. I guess that's why that same gentleman that told him make him feel you, he wanted to feel his gloves. Hopefully y'all are catching the sauce this evening. You know, I'm trying to give you guys an hour. I'm getting better. And shout out to Mr. Gumbo. Mr. Gumbo's a big ass nigga, man. Respectfully, pause. I didn't mean to see nigga. He's a big brother, man. I chopped it up with Gumbo today. Gumbo is a rather large fella. He's a heavyweight, man. Big guy, man. Shout out to Gumbo though. I sent him his CMOS, man. Gumbo's out there on the road, man. But salute to Gumbo, man. You know, big ass guy, man. See, a brother like Gumbo, right? I'm gonna tell you, Gumbo. Up here where I'm from, guys like, see me personally, I'm not that type of guy. But guys around here, your size, they're gonna try to fight you with a weapon. I'm just letting you know. A big dude like you are a Goliath. A lot of guys up here can't fight, and I say that respectfully. But that's probably everywhere. You know, New York, though, a lot of New Yorkers can't fight, man. Especially, and I say this respectfully, a lot of guys in the boroughs, they don't have knuckle check. They don't. They talk a good one. They pull out a gun, you know, things like that. But when it comes to, like, you know, letting they joints fly, they're not good, man. They're not good. And I think a lot of my five borough brothers, they used to get upset with me because I used to beat a lot of them up, man. They used to think Long Island and Strong Island was sweet. I always told them, man, we got some of the best that ever done it. Buddy McGirt, the list goes on and on, man. We were the ones, man. When it came down to going to these tournaments and representing, you know, niggas were screaming Brooklyn and Queens and all that. The Long Island boys, Suffolk to be exact, we was putting it on the map, man. But if you know, you know, man. You know? He said Gumbo introduced him to the front bumper, man. Gumbo's a big dude, man. I was shopping with him today. I was like, damn, that's a big ass nigga. Gumbo's a certified heavyweight, man. I mean, he's a heavyweight, man. Big ass dude. Because he was telling me about some dudes was bumping their gums. I said, yeah, they was bumping their gums on the internet. If they seeing you in person, they be in the piece. That's just like WCS. WCS is a large dude too. I remember, you know, I'm a digress a little bit. I remember a particular dude, right? He was talking crazy about WCS. And I was saying to myself, like, yo, this dude probably never seen WCS in person. Like you can see people in pictures, but when you see them in person, it's a difference, man. And I remember WCS said, yeah, I will break your fingers when he was going back. And I was like, he most likely would. He most likely would. He's a trained killer. You know what I'm saying? A trained, humble killer. He most likely would. These dudes be on the internet, right? And, you know, I'm closing down now. So, you know, I think I gave you guys enough gems on boxing. So I just want to just talk a little bit. But a lot of these guys, right? And I want to say this respectfully. A lot of you guys talk combat sports, right? But can't really fight. And I say that respectfully. A lot of you guys' health ain't even up to par. Like, a lot of you guys, you know, do other activities, whether it's drinking, smoking, things of that nature, right? Now, if you fight somebody that knows how to fight, and these are the type of things that you do, right? And I tell me and Joe Dini laugh about this all the time. I was like, I don't even punch dudes in the face no more. I said, I check them out. And if I know what they're about, I said, I hit them with a stern body shot and paralyze them. And paralyze them. Because somebody that doesn't take care of themselves physically, they drink or they put poison in their body, and you hit them with a what I like to call the Hannibal Lecter, a liver shot. Man, listen. Not only will they throw up, they'll curl up. Some of them might even use the bathroom on themselves. Real talk. Just next time you are in a scuffle, do that, man. Instead of like, hit somebody with a gut shot. Work the body, man. You know, because and to be honest, like a street fight, work the body. Don't hit somebody in the head, because a lot of times when you fight in the streets, you hit somebody in the head, you're gonna mess your hands up. Real talk, because the head is a hard surface. You could break your hand. You know, you could break somebody's jaw and all that, but you mess your hand up. But if you hit them with a stern shot to the solar plex, not too stern, because you might kill somebody. Real talk. You can, if you deliver a proper body shot to the solar plex area, you can't cave somebody's chest in, man. I seen it, man. You know, I've seen it many a times, man. Many a times, man. But yeah, I'm closing in on my hour, man. Thank you, Backyard Prophet. Pay attention to what he said, because tomorrow is another glorious day. I recommend DVR in the fight. Like, DVR the whole thing, because they're gonna have the before and after on there. Hopefully they got that Bo Mack in there, where Bo Mack came into the locker room, and Bo, yo, I love Bo Mack, man. I'm gonna share a quick Bo Mack story. If WCS is in here, WCS could co-sign off on this. Me and WCS, we was at let me get the hotel right. We've been doing this for so long, hard and heavy. We was at the Newark. It was the Newark fight, and we was coming down from the floor, and we was talking about Bo Mack. And as soon as we got off the elevator, who was in the lobby but Bo Mack? Real talk, right? And Bo Mack heard us. I swear to God, no lie, we was talking about him, and he was sitting behind the pillars. Like, if you've been to the Pine Hollow, hopefully I said it right. Pine Tree, something. It's something Pine, man. Hilton, right? And Bo Mack was sitting behind the pillar, and we was talking about it. He said, "What, motherfucker, I hear you." And he was right there. Until we went over there. We kicked it with him for a second. But I hope they got that shit, because that's Bo Mack, man. What Bo Mack said when he was coming into the locker room, and he was with, I think it was Russell Westbrook, and they was interviewing him, and he was feeling good, man, because the dude, the incompetent dude who was incompetent, right? Yeah, thank you, Backyard. Save your hands for real, man. I beat dudes with body shots, man. Yo, if my man Cap was in here, Cap would tell you, man. I hit this big 6'4" dude. You know, I'm about 5'7", 5'8" on a good day, depending on what kind of sneakers I have. Yeah, I fought this big 6'4" dude in Green Lawn, right? He was too big, man. Like, but I fight, man. I'm a war cat, right? But I knew, right? I said, yo, man. And shout out to my moms. I know karate too, man. You know, I got stripes, right? But I was like, I at the time, you know, I didn't want to do a thrust kick on him, right? But I seen his body, right? Yo, I caught him. I hit him with a double hook to the side. Yo, man, when he curled up, yo, Backyard, he curled up from the two body shots. Then I just railed off on him. I railed off on him with the Gary Russell special. I railed off on him. And it was over. But he was a big 6'4" dude, man. Big husky. 6'4", man. I knew I had to work the body. I had to chop him down. See, proper, you know, game planning, right? I was like, yeah, I can't go head up with this dude. He's too big. He could grab me. Cause I know big dudes. A lot of big dudes don't have hands. What they do have, they have that bear strength. They'll grab you. If a big nigga like that grabs you and your hands ain't proper, you're in trouble, because they're gonna slam all type of life out of you. They're gonna squeeze you. So you gotta know how to move, man. You gotta know how to move. But I appreciate that, Backyard. But yeah, back to Bo Mack, man. Hopefully they got that in there, because Bo Mack killed Derek, man. When they asked him, and he talked about his mind being wise and all that. But the thing that he said that had me laughing, right? And shout out to Bo. I knew it was coming, man. I knew they because these guys was humble the whole time, right? And he said, "Do you think that such and such about the fight?" He said he should have never signed a motherfucking contract. See, they knew they was gonna tear his ass up, man. And that's why I did that video, man. I knew, man. Yo, because like I said, I have spoken with Bo Mack many occasions, man. Many occasions. But that press conference, when Bo Mack said to him, "Can't hide, Derek. You can't hide no more." I said, "Oh shit, they are in trouble." I was like, man, Yo, I jumped on my social media. I had to put it out there because I didn't want. I listened before it went down. I wanted everybody to know that I knew. I wanted the world to know that I knew. I said, yo, Earl is going to get a humble ass whooping tomorrow. I didn't want to be one of these dudes that say, oh, I told you so. No, I told you so. Because I said, when he said, can't hide now, Derek. And when I seen Derek's responses, Derek, with his responses to me, he was no longer the coach of the year. He was a kid, you know, he was the kid that got called out and was embarrassed, and he wanted to embarrass somebody that was overweight. So what did he do? He went to fat jokes, Cheetos, Big Macs. No, this man is letting you know he's coming with his troops and his game plan. But we seen how that played out. But tomorrow, listen, I hit my hour mark. Salute to everybody that came through. Smash the like button. Feel free to share the content. Feel free to continue to come back through. Because, you know, we do drop the gems over here. You know, and we do give out, like I said, you see how I gave Backyard Prophet his props? Check out his channel as well. He got an executive producer credit tonight for highlighting the foot placement. And that is the key word for tomorrow night. When we watch this fight, let's watch the guy's foot placements. Watch Bud's foot placement. And remember I gave y'all the video where I showed his foot placement, where he set the trap on the ropes and he pivoted and Earl walked right into that uppercut that dropped him when he was throwing the meat hook, what I like to call the hook. Watch the foot placement on that, man. Foot placement is big in boxing, man. Very, very big, man. But listen, that is pretty much all I have for you tonight. Tomorrow, I might go live during the fight, man. I think I might go live. Mute the fight and just go live and talk about some of the things that Backyard highlighted, because a lot of people talk boxing on YouTube, but they're not educating you. And a lot of these guys that talk boxing, they were Earl Spence radicals. And if I knew that a lot of them didn't know shit about boxing, when I did my video and I said that he was slow, stiff, and flat-footed, and they attacked at me. And I laughed. I laughed. I entertained a lot of comments, but I laughed because I said, damn, you guys are so programmed that you're questioning my opinion, which not only is valid, it's coming from a boxing mind, Beetlejuice boxing mind. And what played out? What did Bud Crawford trainer say? He is slow as shit. Come over the top. I said that 23 days out, just observing, for being around people that know boxing. But hey, what do I know? Coach Reen is not in here. Coach Reen! Nah, they went outside. I would have let Coach Reen close it out and say that, but nonetheless, we will close out with some nice vintage sauce. And for those of y'all, listen, watch my foot placement right here. Look, because like I said, the sauce, these dudes always want to know my certifications and qualifications in fighting. Well, why don't you try to run up and attack me or something? Run up and try to attack me. My qualifications, run up on me, test me out, man. Test me out. This is the real Mr. ESPN right here. You know the vibes. Yes.
Pick up your phone, man.
Yes.
You're missing a few members, but you already know team stay strong.
Yeah.
Shout out my man Jackal.
Yes.
Big Apex in New York. My son right here.
Yes.
Jackal,
Yes.
Get
Screw
into
you.
it,
Screw
Jack.
you. Screw you. Screw you. Yo, victory. It's a celebration.
Yeah.
Bitches. You know the vibes. Yeah. Yo, we in Vegas.
You know the fucking
Vegas. Yeah. Uncle Jay, cousin Mike.
Uncle Jay, cousin Mike.
You know the
Shout
vibes.
out ESPN, shout out Top Rank, shout out Alvina.
That's
shout
right.
out all my supporters, everybody, man. I love all y'all, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screw you. Work, Chris. Work. Body. Nice. Good body shot. Body shot, Chris. Good body shot.
Blessed and happy to be active during everything that's going on.
Yeah, definitely, man. You get a lot of praise, man, from top hitters in the game, such as Tyson Fury. You know, he's a world champion, man, defeated Deontay Wilder. That man gave you high praise and credit as to getting ready. Just speak on that, man, the accolades that come with that. And a lot of people saying you the next one, the next great American heavyweight, man. Just speak on that real quick.
Yeah, man, you got to give credit when due. I'm thankful that he did. You know what I'm saying? I don't speak on myself. I let others do it for me. And when they see hard work and determination and they see skill, you know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. You know, he just giving credit when due. So I'm thankful that he was able to speak the truth about me and get people aware.
Definitely. Now, it's kids out there right now looking up to you, wanting to be the next real big baby, man. Get a youngin' something, man, you know, from Toledo, Ohio, you know, Midwest, Texas, Houston, New York, Brooklyn, Long Island.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he's sweating. Down, Narina. Down, Narina. I'm taking a video. You want to be famous?